Wow, that was bad. Okay. So, Alicia here. These are my cards. Oh, pretty well. And this is the beginning, the first part of drunk intuitive forecast for the month. So, by popular demand. Oh, look at the shit that's flying. So I put it out there about possibly doing drunk intuitive readings, or not readings, but intuitive monthly forecasts, whatever. And some people wanted me to do it, so here we go. I thought it would be fun. It's a little different, not really, but I have to admit, it does loosen the inhibitions a little bit when I do it. So this is a Bloody Mary, obviously. By the way, I'm not a big vodka fan, so I'm going to try a couple of other suggestions that people have put through about what to use instead of vodka. Tequila, well, gin, and bourbon. Bourbon was a surprise. Have been suggested, so we'll be trying that. I usually like sweet drinks or scotch. God, I love the smell of scotch more than I like drinking scotch. There's a little bit of scotch left in me, just a little bit. So back to the monthly forecast. So we're talking about the month of July. Month of July. Month of July brings Wasteland. That's not a great card to get. I mean, it is. When you talk about the Wasteland, for me, in this card, and I'll show it in a second. Devil's the next. Nice. When we talk about Wasteland, for those of you who are a little bit more in tarot, for me, it's the Five of Shields. This is the card. Does that come across? There we go. That is the card. It's called the Wasteland. By the way, this is the Arthurian Legend Tarot. Wasteland for me, this card is always meant, there's always help out there for you. When all seems lost, I think the term comes when it's always darkest just before the dawn. That's fine. So I think we're moving past this. It has been a very heavy, oh my god, heavy few months. Here I thought, mistakenly so, starting in January, that I was going to hit the ground running and just kind of go full-fledged and just move through everything. And instead, we had a Mercury retrograde right off the bat. And everything just went to shit from there. It's awesome. And then we had, how many retrogrades? How many retrogrades do we have? Oh my god. Ridiculous. And I'm not the type of person who wants to say, oh, this is in retrograde, so therefore my life goes to hell and I need to hide under the duvet and just not exist and not experience life while this goes on. Oh my god. I am not that person. So not the person. Because I've got to pay the bills. I've got to work. I can't afford to do that. Just so you know. So I'm not that type of person of doom and gloom when it comes to shit like that. So for me to say, oh my god, so many beeping retrogrades have kind of messed us up a little bit, it's a little bit true. But my take on retrogrades is that it forces us to re-look at things, re-examine things a little bit. Take a step back. Like Mercury retrograde. It's not a bad thing. I'm slurring my words. Yay. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just makes us look at things differently. And the more we try and keep going at the way that we've been doing it before and we're used to doing it, the more resistance we get. Therefore, when you stop, breathe, and look at it from a different point of view, or go around it in a different way and approach it from a different point of view, you'll see it has a much better way of dealing with it. So with all the other retrogrades, Saturn, we even had Jupiter last month, something like that. We had Jupiter. Oh my God, shoot me. We're still in a Saturn retrograde. We had Mars retrograde for a while too, which a little bit, the Jupiter and Mars retrograde together mixed with Saturn, I just had all this angry feeling, this stabby feeling. So it was kind of sad and made a little bit of sense why we had so many problematic situations with the shootings and what have you, which were messed me up, let me tell you, as well as other people. So if you experienced a loved one who had to deal with that, or it was connected to you, or you just felt it, my heart goes out to you, because damn, all of that was just, it was heart-wrenching. It was tough. And all these retrogrades are not necessarily to blame, but I feel they definitely impacted us. And you can contact your local astrologer and see if I'm right. Anyways, so the next card that I have is the Devil. Well, for me, it's the horned one. No, isn't he hot? He's kind of hot. Really is. In that dark, brooding kind of way. Anyways, so when we talk about the horned one, we talk about, excuse me, we talk about how feeling chained to a situation, feeling tied down, feeling obsessed about something, connected to something in such a way that you have no choice, when you really do have a lot of choices. Okay? I mean, we have witnessed that with the card before it even, but you really do have more choices. It's just that overwhelming feeling that comes with that. And last but not least, the last card is the King of Cups. In my deck, it's known as the Fisher King. Talked to Griffin before. He's like, looks a little young to be the Fisher King. I agree. Totally agree. King of Cups is kind of that very heartfelt person, the type of person who would give the shirt off of his back and not care what the consequences of his life would be. So when we put these all in motion, which this may not be making sense to you because, well, drunk, it's fun. Looking at this, I would say, don't tie yourself down. Don't allow yourself to be tied down, because you may be giving more than what you think you are. You may be not paying enough attention to yourself. And there is help out there to make things really work in your life, in this next month especially. There is light at the end of the tunnel. As I've said a couple times in a couple different readings and a couple different forecasts recently, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and no, it's not a train. I love that phrase. Love it. It's great. But it's not a train. It really isn't. There is something at the end of this. There is a reason why you've gone through all the things that you have. There's, if you've done the work, if you've not hid under the duvet, if you will, or under the comforter, or under the blankets, then you've been actively trying to change things. And that's golden. That's the name of the game. That's what pushes you forward. That's what makes this next point in your life amazing. And let me tell you, from what little I've seen of August, from readings and what have you, August and September is looking like some really interesting golden months. Don't know why, but right now that's kind of the theme with a lot of my readings. But I guess we'll see. So, again, we're going to try and do this around the first of the month, every month. because doing this weekly would just make me look like an alcoholic. And since I'm mostly Scots, Welsh, Irish, hell, I don't know what I am anymore. Scottish, definitely. Then, yeah, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Anyways, so hope you got something out of that. If not, at least you got a laugh. And we'll talk to you later.